आपकी लोगों को तो नहीं आया अभी तक।
नहीं सर फायदा है हमारे यहाँ भी बहुत लोगों को
ये कोई बात तो नहीं। आइडिया तो है ना हमें सिखा दे स्पेस का अरेंजमेंट सिंगुलर बोला तो अभी इनवाइट करना we have shared the link मैंने कल शाम को चेक करा था and 1:30 से वही था
लगाइए
टाइनी URL बना के अपने लिंक शेयर किया।
हाँ वो तो ठीक था। Already so Preeti is already there. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Oh, we're running for mic and speaker. Preeti says, running for mic and a speaker. Not able to hear, not able to
just
can see us. Aruna. Sarbani is there. Aruna is okay, she's there. वो लगेगा क्या उसको लगा दें यूएसबी में लगाई थी और ये जो है माइक्रोफोन ये वाला।
कॉपी उसमें करनी पड़ेगा।
हाँ ठीक है, वो से जा रहा है।
प्रेजेंटेशन फिर इसमें आपके इसमें कॉपी करोगे
और जो भी लिखा हुआ है अपडेट कर देंगे। तो बस इधर से मॉडल।
हाँ ये भी अच्छा आपने अपना बना लिया
बनाने करते हैं आपको।
पेज डाउन करते हैं। फुल पेज में नहीं करते, इसमें बाहर जा रहे हैं
तो यू तो बनती है
ऐसे कर दो।
अच्छा मैंने इन्वाइट कर दिया
इससे आ रहा है।
कनेक्ट कर मैं ऐसे इन्वाइट
मिलते हैं।
हाँ
हिंदी मीटिंग में डालनी है।
बाकी पहले बात कर लेते हैं, फिर उसके बाद में how many few people have joined it? So we wait. दो ही लोग संगीता है, वैसे भी आ सकते हैं। बाकी जगह से लोग आएंगे। कल मैंने करके देखा था ठीक से। हाँ। भाई भेजना पड़ेगा।
सब कर लिया।
Somebody else has joined. संगीता। बहुत सारे हैं। So through that link they should be able to connect, which we shared.
इसी से बात करो।
Group invite.
Can you hear us? First test is
हाँ नहीं बोल रहे
testing 1, 2, 3. Sanchita, where are you from? Which city?
Yes, sir.
Which city you are in? Woodip?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we are from
बहुत खींचता है तो फटाफट लेता है मुझे काम भी स्लो आ रहा है
Sanchita, can you speak now?
Hello.
थोड़ी देर से बैठ रहा है
ये क्यों आ गया No, mine is off.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, good.
Sir, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes.
loud and clear.
So we have all gathered. You may start, sir. Today, Pune.
Okay, we're checking all other cities also.
Anybody from patent office there? Speaker on.
Wait.
What's the purpose of conference? If you start,
Yes. इसमें लोग आ गए
and I'll
तो जैसे हमारा वीडियो इन सबको तो नहीं आ रहा तो ये तो वैसे ही हेलो एवरीवन
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Renuka from UTIP.
Okay, good. Can hear you well, sir.
और मेरे को लग रहा है कि बल्कि कहते हैं एक जो जैन सर का सबसे बेटर प्लेयर आ रहा है सच में तुम्हारा कहना है बहुत अच्छा लेकिन मुझे कुछ लगा डर से नहीं था मतलब एक ऐसा चाहिए से ऑब्वियसली एक टाइप की अभी मैंने की है तो सब जो बातें करते हैं I don't know, they inbuilt the speaker change and पुन्हा ग्रुप बोल के देखो
Only one of them.
ठीक है करना
ब्यूटीफुल है शायद ये अच्छा संचिता को मैंने हमेशा ये सोचा नोएडा में रहती है अच्छा मुझे ये कौन सा
So actually, you people should put your microphone, sorry, your speakers. Microphone you have to put off. You mute your microphones. Yeah, you mute your microphones. You can go on the top and you can mute your microphone. Okay, I think we'll start now. We're already late. So welcome to all of you to this July Hangout. Little delayed, but finally we are here. Yesterday we had Governing Council meeting of TIFAC, and we had Minister of State, Mr. Y.S. Chaudhary join us in that event. And I would not say much more right now. I would first let Yaswant talk about national policy in IPR. He has a presentation. So he will do that and then we will pick up other things. So let's start with the presentation on national policy on IPR. It's a rehearsal for a talk that we have to give tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. I think most of you have joined now. Let me share the screen.
Hello sir, volume is not very clear.
So we are just wait. We just
Wait for a few minutes.
तुम्हारी आवाज से जो इको
You can hear us? Up, 1, 2, 3, 4.
ये सब लोग कनेक्ट नहीं है लाइव वाले से कनेक्ट पांच सेकंड नहीं दे रहे हैं बैट भी को भी नहीं है सबसे पहले अपने लैपटॉप पर लेट्स फास्ट बिगिन एशिया से लाइव पर भी क्यों है अच्छा ये बोल रहे जिसने वाला गाड़ी मनुष्य को ले लेते हैं मनुष्य मनुष्य को लेकर दिल्ली में है शुरू कर दिया
Still my voice not clear? I think my voice is clear.
भी गई है ट्रैफिक में और उनकी कभी कोई नहीं है पर मुझे
मेरा मुझे तो बेटर नजदीक है ना तो लिखो भी जनरेट कर रहा है
मिल गया
I think we are just connecting to a few more people. At the moment, there are 32 viewers, 32 places. People are connected with us. We're just trying to connect few more people and then I will start the presentation.
पहले सुनाई दे
The Delhi Patent Office is there. Chennai Patent Office.
So volume is very low. Actually, it is not clearly audible here.
Okay, it's still not very audible. Now also slow. Can you change your setting? The speaker setting. I think you have to enhance the volume of your speaker. Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Now it's okay. Voice is okay.
So we can hear us. Sir, volume is a bit low, sir. Can it be a bit high?
Let me check. let us try for.
नहीं मैं बोल नहीं सकती उनकी तरफ
ये इधर इससे नहीं होगा उसका जो मिल रहा है
Oh, now it's improved or still the same voice?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, this is better or the same quality of sound? Hello.
You're audible, sir, to us.
Yeah, it's better than earlier or the same? What's the level of voice?
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Okay, okay. We are just waiting for Mr. Kumar and then we will start with the How many of you have gone through the national IPR policy? Any?
Yeah, I can. We have the shorter version here.
सुनाइए तो मुझे भी सुना देना
Okay, I please.
Hello, sir. There are some problems in audio and video from on this side right now.
You are sorting it out.
Actually, वो video shift कर रहा हूँ ना IPR policy.
Has it been sorted out?
तो कवर से निकलना है.
फिर यही होगा चलो ये पढ़ लो कम से कम ये पता नहीं क्यों गया ये लैपटॉप
इसके बाद है जब आजा तो कंप्यूटर कर लेते हैं जैसे ये है मेरे साथ देखते हैं पूरा चेयर अपना
क्या लिखा लिंक दिया लिंक तो जीमेल पे भी आया था इसी से यहाँ पे खोला फोन में एक्चुअली मैंने अभी रिसेंटली पासवर्ड चेंज किया ना गूगल से रिलेटेड जो भी है वो इसमें भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही होगी
So you're able to see the screen now? Some of you can respond. Sorry, fun.
अब इस पे टाइप कैसे करेंगे
बाकी सबसे म्यूट होके बैठ जाना चाहिए ना
हाँ उन्होंने यही कहा था म्यूट हो जाना हमने तो म्यूट हो गए
हाँ तो उसके साथ अपनी लिस्ट पूरी अपने हमने की जो
I think we should start the presentation now, and you can actually stop talking amongst yourself, and it's better if you use the microphone.
Please use the microphone.
I'm just sharing this screen, not my video. So just look at the content.
उसको म्यूट कर देते हैं
तो शीशे पे आ गए ब्लैक
ये कोविड नहीं है ये कुछ है
अच्छा
can you hear us? Can you hear us?
He's also.
Yes, sir, we can hear.
He's
Okay,
also.
please go mute your microphone.
Prabha muted. He has to mute the microphone first.
ऊपर में
Okay, good afternoon. I think let us start now.
almost
कितना मिल रहा है ना व्यवस्थित ज़्यादा उम्मीद करोगी तो फिर ये सब हो जाता है और छोटा हो जाता है
See, so any policy which is at a national level should be in the interest of the country and the demand put up by people, the government and other international engagements and commitments. So when we formulate a policy, everything needs to be kept in mind. As you are aware, at the moment, Government of India have launched many major programs like Make in India, Digital India, Smart Cities, Skilled India, Swachh Bharat, and many other programs. So everywhere there is an expectation from technology and technologists, scientists, entrepreneurs, and all citizens to contribute towards these major goals which government wants to achieve for the development of. So when we get into this area of IPR and talk about IPR should contribute to all these major programs and the technology development of the country. So it says creative India or innovative India. Srijan Bharat and Abhinav Bharat. Srijan Bharat and Abhinav Bharat. And it policy clearly states that we need to grow with capturing the spirit of intellectual property rights. The nation is through capturing the spirit of intellectual property by IP stimulated growth which we want to achieve as a country. And that's the very reason that policy has put in place. The policy stated as a vision statement. So what is the vision of having this particular policy? It says creativity and innovation are stimulated by intellectual property for the benefit of all. It is not for a few people who create intellectual property rights, but the benefit of creativity and innovation should be reaching to all. All means all within the country and around the globe. First target is our own citizen and then the whole humanity. So that's how creativity and innovation should reach people with the root of intellectual property rights. Further, when we say this intellectual property right should contribute towards promoting science and technology, not only science and technology, it should promote art and culture, traditional knowledge, and other related things like biodiversity, bioresources, and all other forms of creativity. So it should promote as well as stimulate promoting science and technology, not only science and technology. And there's a assumption that knowledge is the main driver of development of any society. Knowledge is the main driver of development of any society. So, through this national IPR policies, the target is like knowledge is owned and then transformed into knowledge shared. When people create knowledge, people should own the knowledge and then share the knowledge. So the transformation from owning to sharing the knowledge That is the major reason of policy of the government, which I feel. Attention that knowledge is the main driver of development of any society. Knowledge is a main driver of development of any society. So, this national IPR, I think there is a delay in video. So at the same time, policy don't only talk about vision, it actually laid down a action with a major mission. So what this mission statement says, we need to foster the creativity and innovation by promoting entrepreneurship. I request all the participants to mute their microphones because it is creating noise action. I think few of them are playing the video. So can you please stop playing video at this moment and just concentrate on live this one. And I request all the participants to mute their microphones. So that will really help us in having presentations. I think still there are noises. I request please. I think few of them are can you please stop playing video at this moment and just concentrate on live receiving statement. Let me continue now. Whatever banner it is reaching. When we say there's a mission, so what is the mission proposed in the policy? It says create a vibrant, balanced IP system in India. So what do you mean by creating vibrant and balanced intellectual property rights system? So when we say vibrant, it should foster creativity. So complete IP system should foster the creativity and innovation. And this innovation and creativity are encouraged. That would really promote entrepreneurship and enhance the social, economic, and cultural development of this country. So that's where we say the vibrant intellectual property rights system we will achieve these goals. But when we say balanced, what do we mean by balanced IP system? So all of you are aware the issues of accessing healthcare, accessing food. So the food security is a foremost priority for any country or any society. Then environmental protection. So these are the issues where we need to have a balanced approach in providing, granting intellectual property rights as well as enforcing and handling intellectual property rights. So there need a balance. But at one side we want to protect everything, other side we need to have a balance of rights or a level of protection designed to need of our society. So that is a mission statement which I would say. So how we are going to achieve all these tasks which have been laid down in the vision statement as well as in the mission statement. So it says there are 7 key objectives which have been defined through which we are going to achieve the targets which have been laid down or envisaged through this particular policy with regard to handling intellectual property rights in our country. So what are these key objectives? First and foremost is IP awareness in the country. So last 20 years, many efforts have been made to create intellectual property rights awareness by different agencies, but still there is a need of outreach and promotion of intellectual property rights. Despite several efforts, still a lot of efforts to be put in to create awareness amongst stakeholders and citizens with regard to intellectual property rights. So this is the first objective of this policy. So how this objective is to be achieved, there are certain actions suggested in the policy which we will read a little later. Then the second objective defined is generation of intellectual property rights. So how do you generate and where do you generate intellectual property rights? So that we need to have vibrant innovation ecosystem. And when we talk about innovation, innovation not only in science and technology, but innovation in all walks of life, including art, culture, all walks of life. We need to be innovative, business, entrepreneurship, everywhere. So that actually finally will result into creation of more and more intellectual property rights, not only patents, because then we need to have legal and legislative framework in place. So that's another objective by which we're going to achieve those goals. Then administration and management, how we are going to administer intellectual property rights. So when we talk about administration and management, it is with regard to patent office, trademark registry, GI registry, design office, copyright office, and offices which are actually administering intellectual property rights. And when we say management, this is a larger context. So all other agencies also fall into the ambit of management of intellectual property rights. So actually, who owns intellectual property, those also will fall in this. Then commercialization of intellectual property rights. So the final goal of protecting invention or any other kind of creativity to really commercialize them and get some money out of your creative work through protection and enforcement of intellectual property rights. The sixth objective is to enforce and adjudicate IPR. See, it is well said, I think you are aware, and during the orientation also you have been given a lot of insight. The real value of intellectual property right is not in actually protecting intellectual property rights. Real value of IP is in actually enforcing intellectual property rights. So if you have patents in 10 countries and you're not able to enforce anywhere, people are copying happily and you're not able to take action, then that does not have any value. But enforcement is not your individual or any company's prerogative, or everything is in the hand of companies or individuals. Actually, every country or a government or a system should provide mechanism through which you can take actions relating to enforcement of your intellectual property rights. Like you are seeing, if pirated CDs are sold in the market, if police is not cooperating us by confiscating those pirated work or CDs. So if enforcement is not in place, then hardly any point in having intellectual property rights. So government actually plan to create robust system for enforcement and adjudication of intellectual property rights. So courts are also getting ready to take challenges with regard to cases relating to intellectual property rights, be it the copyright, trademark, by creating different mechanism to adjudicate IP cases at a different level. Then no system will survive without HR development. Human resource is essential to run any program, any system. So how we are going to develop human capital with regard to intellectual property rights? The policy laid down some clear-cut what to do list. When this policy was built, it was built on there are few assumptions that in India presently, it is assumed that we have robust IP laws. So we have all IP laws in place which are of global standard, or in some cases far better than any other law in any other country. So we have robust IP laws and strong IP jurisprudence. See, many cases have been decided in this country with speed of light, be it in the appellate board or in different courts. So we consider that we have a strong IP jurisprudence in our country, and so many judgments have created precedent for cases to follow, and I think a lot of thought process has gone into it, and system have been created to take the IP litigation to the next level. And the question of okay, when we say international commitment, we are there. Okay, when we say international commitments, we have signed various agreements like TRIPS agreement. We are party to Paris Convention. We are party to Bern Convention. We are part of WTO. So there are a lot of commitments under each of these treaties. We are actually adhering to all of them and fully compliance to our international obligation. So that's a रिसीव करना है जा रहा है So we are actually fully compliant to all our, there's some calls coming. बाद में देखते हैं अभी भी दिख रहा है वो ज़्यादा क्लियर है मैसेज भेजते हैं So when we are fully compliant to all our international commitments, so what policy seeks? So policy seeks a conducive ecosystem in this country with regard to intellectual property that need to be created with all aspects, from generating to intellectual property rights to commercializing, enforcing, adjudicating, and actually complete management of intellectual property rights, right from beginning to end, till the cycle completes. Another important aspect policy seeks is weaving strength. See, we have different kind of stakeholders, like you have MSME, you have startups, you have universities, you have a big industry, you have a small industry, you have different government laboratories. So how, as a country, we can weave a strength? We can pick up threads of each stakeholders, which are important, and we can weave a strength. So combining all together on one platform, having all of them at one platform, and present a very strong portfolio of intellectual property rights, or a strong management of intellectual property rights, which actually help us in achieving whatever we have envisioned, and that has been described in vision statement. And at the same time, as a country, we should have transparent, predictable, and efficient administration. So predictable means it should be stable. So in all cases, decisions and the processing, everything is in uniform manner. So that there are no surprise, no case-to-case basis kind of. So let us see objective one by one. We say IP awareness, outreach, and promotion. So as a national program on intellectual property rights, with awareness or teaching or whatever, so it is said that let us adopt a national slogan: Creative India, Innovative India. So wherever you talk about intellectual property rights, go with this slogan. So this slogan actually should create wave amongst people, and some feeling with regard to intellectual property rights, and motivate people to join the whole campaign of creating awareness about intellectual property. So the nationwide, there should be programs. So DIPP has already initiated various road shows and various programs, and all other ministries are pitching in and organizing different programs with regard to creating awareness and understanding about intellectual property rights. So how the policy guides us to proceed with regard to creating awareness about intellectual property rights. See, so far we have been organizing standard programs on intellectual property rights for all. So now it is policy seeks that we should customize IP awareness program specifically for MSME, so startups, R&D institutes, SMT institution, and university. So we need to create tailor-made and the program to requirement of different kind of institutes and people for creating awareness. So we can, in other words, we can say it's a second level of awareness about intellectual property rights, not very basic understanding, or because MSME will have a different need, and a university will have a different need. So as per their needs, we need to create programs with regard to intellectual property rights, and reaching out to less visible and silent IP creators. So in this country, creativity is everywhere, and people who do not have adequate education, farmers, laborers, and students, and various other sections of society which are not well connected. So it would be wrong to assume that they cannot create. So we need to reach out to creators amongst all those people who are less visible and scout intellectual property rights, or at least before scouting, we should be able to reach out to them in their own language. See, if we want to communicate something in Tamil Nadu, remotest village, we should be able to tell them about intellectual property rights in their language. If we want to communicate something in the remote village of Bengal, so we should be able to communicate what is intellectual property rights, what is patents and all, and that also to be in a language which they can understand and short and crisp. Nobody is going to listen long lectures and try to understand about this. So we need to create such an awareness program to reach out to these people, and we need to identify what is the mode through which we can reach to these people, maybe radio or television. We need to find out those things. Then most of the time, innovation, when we pursue innovation, it may be in some subject areas or a global innovation happening in some areas that we try to follow. So it is not that. It's Indian competence leading to competitive advantage. So what, as an Indian, we have a competence and we must build IP around that. As we are very rich in biodiversity. So what actually we can build around biodiversity and enhance our portfolio of intellectual property rights in all forms. Then participate in exhibition and create system like Hall of Fame, etc., and give some awards, create suitable course material, use different media. That's how we are going to go about creating awareness about intellectual property rights. When we say generation of intellectual property rights, so slogan is to stimulate the generation of IPR. A comprehensive baseline IP survey or IP audit across all sectors need to be conducted and planned. It has been planned. So different organizations will be given responsibility to do this. And here also, when you're going to conduct surveys, go with this slogan, Creative India, Innovative India. So how are you going to achieve this? So generation of IPR has two meanings. One is you really need to create something new. You really need to innovate. And now question comes, once you have innovated, once you have created, you need some facilitation mechanism to protect through intellectual property right. So generation of IPR actually includes strengthening IP facilitation system or IP facilitation centers working under different organizations. So when question comes to generation of intellectual property rights, DST and particularly have been made nodal agency for pursuing issues relating to generation of intellectual property rights. And I would like to share with you that Professor Prabhat Ranjan, ED TIFAC, have been nominated as a nodal officer on behalf of DST to take care all these issues and formulate appropriate guidelines and wherever required legislative framework for handling these issues and addressing. So let us discuss the responsibility which have been given to DST to create a system for IP. The policy says focus on improving output of national laboratories, universities, technology institutions, and other by encouraging and facilitating acquisition of IP rights by them. So, if you read acquisition of IP right by them, mean each institutions, be it the university, laboratory, or a national lab, or any college. So they should be in a position to acquire intellectual property rights wherever required. They should get facilitation from different agencies of government. So government need to create and strengthen facilitating agencies which actually will encourage protection, creation and protection of intellectual property rights. Then encourage researchers in public funded and R&D institution in creating IPR. So how do you encourage them to really get into intellectual property? If you go to any scientist, he will not be encouraged to patent over going for a publication in the reputed journal. So they are always in a hurry of publishing papers and reaching out to people, discussing with their friends. But once you do that, all of you are aware that novelty is lost. So before going to public, you are supposed to protect your creative work through whatever tools available to you, maybe patents or maybe design or maybe IC layout or a plant variety, whatever it is. So the policy proposes to create a system to encourage these scientists through research funding or a career progression. So if you are able to create and protect your IP, that should help you in getting research funding from various funding organizations. At the same time, it should help you to get faster promotion or a career progression or a different assignment, etc. The further responsibility of DST is to encourage researchers in public funded academic and R&D institutions by having uniform guidelines of division of royalty. So at the moment, different institutions have different guidelines for sharing royalty. Like DST has minimum 30% to go to the grantee institute, 30% to the lab where they have worked, and up to 30% should go to inventors. IIT Kharagpur have 50-50% system, IIC Bangalore 80-20 system, 80% goes to inventors. So different institutions have different policy of sharing royalties between individual research organization and funding agencies. So this policy seeks an uniform guidelines of sharing benefit arising out of intellectual property rights in a uniform manner. So that's a major responsibility because many institutions have a different policies and guidelines. So we need to actually see how we can really make all of them uniform. Is it possible through legislation or is it possible through government order, or the mechanism need to be worked out? So that's a task given to us. So we will discuss amongst various scientific ministries and other state governments how really we can achieve this particular objective of then beyond this particular aspect is a little beyond intellectual property rights. Say this, the policy says we should be able to guide which area of research we need to pursue in different sectors, be it be healthcare, be it be agriculture, be it be biotechnology, nanotechnology, etc., material, information and communication technologies. What all technologies our scientists should pursue. So that's where I think Patent Analysis and Technology Vision 2035 document, which all of you have seen, can help and guide us in achieving this particular objective. And that finally will lead to creation of various new technologies, various new intellectual property rights, various new designs, and various new business and entrepreneurs through this route. Then further create industry academia interface. See, industry academia interface has been in talk for many years. But what actually preventing and hampering these collaborations? Actually, lack of understanding about intellectual property rights, lack of understanding how to protect their knowledge. There are a lot of fears amongst institutions and scientists and collaborators working in these joint projects. So if there is a proper IP sharing, IP handling mechanism is created, which finally can result into cross-fertilization of ideas amongst different kind of institutions, be it the R&D institute or industry or academia. So whole cycle from lab to people through industry need to be achieved, and the IP should play an important role. But what role it is to play need to be discussed and deliberated and formulated. Formulation of guideline is required. So we will work on this on behalf of DST under the guidance of Professor Prabhat Ranjanji. Then another role, the promote R&D through tax benefits available under various laws through simplification of procedures. This responsibility is given to DST, but Ministry of Finance have already taken action, and few months back you would have read the news in various newspapers that the uniform tax regime in the budget speech, 10% tax on patent royalties. Whatever bracket of tax you are in, you have to pay only 10% tax. So the one step has been taken in this regard. But what else is required need to be discussed, deliberated, and some kind of tax benefits can be suggested to the government by DST to really encourage entrepreneurship based on new technologies and protected through other intellectual property rights. Then considering financial support, and you must have read the mortgaging, creating a system for mortgaging intellectual property rights, etc. So those issues need to be discussed, an appropriate mechanism to be created. A lot of challenges are there to really get into that arena and really make IP a mortgageable asset. There are a lot of issues. So those need to be discussed, deliberated, and some kind of system to be created. Then commercialization of intellectual property rights. So there are various actions suggested. I think we can. Then human capital and what best, as our ED always says, 10% of all patent agents from KIRAN IPR. So DST is playing important role. So there's a human capital development, and there's a special emphasis in policy itself. It says human capital in the area of IPR, especially women. So there we are already contributing, and I think we will see what in what manner we can make it more efficient and make it reachable to more people. We will look into it. Then there are a few other things. When we say generation of intellectual property rights, at the same time we are saying affordable drugs. So we need to come up with alternative routes, alternative formulations, and we should be able to make drugs at an affordable cost. It means we need to invent ourselves. We may protect. Then we need to encourage open source based research also. So research, see, one objective of taking research to public through IP route, at the same time we must encourage open source based research. Then IP facilitation centers to be created everywhere in the industry, industry clusters, university system, everywhere. We need to create IP facilitation centers At the moment, they are available at a state level or some institution level. Or large corporation, there are already IP protection system is there. So that system need to be shared with smaller industries. So that's how policy says. So what the best practices followed in a large corporation or a support mechanism followed in a large corporation should reach to everybody, and people should know about that. Then how do we reach to grassroots innovators is less visible as we described earlier, and then some efforts to be corporate social responsibility to be taken up by large industry to actually nurture intellectual property rights of people associated with them. Then incentives for green technologies to be created. Then traditional knowledge, GI, design, etc. And we should be able to actually take advantage of international system. And at the same time, we need to increase our domestic filing. See, in patent, we are less than 30% domestic filing. Though in trademark, we have more. In design also, we have less filing. So we need to increase domestic filing in all forms of intellectual property rights. Then next issue, objective comes the legal and legislative framework. I think we have, as earlier covered, that we have a very robust IP laws in this country. So our legislative framework is effective as well as balanced, and it is in place. So at this stage, not many changes have been suggested. Wherever required, wherever there are anomalies, studies have been proposed, and we need to amend wherever to the required issues like traditional knowledge, traditional cultural expression, technology transfer, specifically in standard essential patents on front terms. So the studies have been proposed on these subjects. See, there's a SEP issue is now after Micromax case in different forums, be it in a court, be it with a competition commission, in the public forum, at the company level, that has been talked, and a lot of issues it has generated. So the study is required, and how this legislative framework or a new law or any law can help in resolving these issues more amicably. And then various other studies also have been proposed, interplay amongst IP laws, IP and competition law. Then various authorities like National Biodiversity Authority, where it has a bearing, permission from National Biodiversity Authority has a bearing on granting of patent, affecting the grant of a patent. So all those issues need to be taken up, and the whole process needs to be streamlined. Then trade secret, there is no law. There can be a study whether we should have a law or we should not have. So this policy proposes studies. Then administration and management. For the administration and management, the special cell have been created in DIPP, which is called Cell for IPR Promotion and Management, which will have these responsibilities. And the major changes, there are two changes you are aware in the right from the orientation program itself. The Copyright Office have been shifted from Ministry of HRD to DIPP, and IC Layout Design Office have been shifted from DIT to DIPP. So now, other than plant varieties, all intellectual property rights have been put under one roof, and that is DIPP. Then the question comes the commercialization of, the next objective is the commercialization of intellectual property. So getting value of your IPR. How do you get a value? Value you get in terms of money through commercialization of your intellectual property rights. So commercialization can be by yourself or it can be through license and other mechanisms, or by sharing technologies also. So there can be various means how do you put your innovation or creative work to the public use. So once you are able to put it to the public use, and then TIFAC is also named in this as one of the agencies to take up the commercialization to the next level. And I think this all these issues actually address reduce API dependencies, promote open source. So everywhere there's the repetition of various issues in different contexts. So I think I should not be repeating. Then enforcement and adjudication of IPRs. What we need to have a proper system like the courts, police, or whatever the agency who is participating in enforcement of intellectual property rights should be well acquainted with intellectual property rights and should have a system, should have a support of a government to really discharge their duties. Sometimes it becomes difficult, like the custom officers are supposed to enforce patents, so it would be difficult for them. So they need a training, they need a change of laws, they need there's a need of changing system, which actually workable, are workable. So when we say enforcement through courts, enforcement through Competition Commission of India, where some anti-competitive practices are seen, then the proposal of the commercial courts at appropriate level. At the same time, focus would be there on IP modules for judges and enforcement agencies to make them aware about intellectual property rights. And the policy also encourages alternative dispute resolution like arbitration or some local arrangement of settling dispute. So that the policy also encourages that to make the whole thing very fast and reducing burden on the judicial system. Then there comes the human capital development. So we can harness the benefit of intellectual property rights if we have a right kind of human capital with us. So efforts are required at different level, right from the school to college to professional level, to acquire relevant and adequate knowledge of intellectual property rights and skills to manage intellectual property rights. To that, there are some proposals strengthening the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Rights and Management in Nagpur, strengthening IPR chair. Earlier it used to be called MHRD IPR chair, and now it's the DIPP. So we are expecting new name anytime for these chairs, but the proposal is there to strengthening these IPR chairs. And then the introduction of multidisciplinary IP courses in judicial academies, national academies, administration, police and custom academies. So in all kind of academies, the IP course to be introduced. And this is the first time in the national policy it has been taught that IP to be taught at a school and the school level also, not only at a college or university level. So university and college level, there have been courses. The biotechnology courses actually have a credit course with regard to intellectual property rights. But at a school level, it is to be incorporated. So appropriate content to be created that the right kind of message can be conveyed to school students about intellectual property rights. Then collaboration with international agencies. Then IUs, NIDs, technical institutions, IITs, IISCs, everywhere IPR should be made integral part of the curriculum. So that those are the actions suggested under the human capital development. Then how this is to be implemented, the DIPP will be the nodal agency, and respective departments, like as I discussed, the DST have been given task to implement few policy stipulations which we have discussed, like creating IP in industry, academia, and appropriate environment to be created, and then royalty sharing and those issues. Likewise, like introducing IP in a school curriculum, so the responsibility of Ministry of HRD. So each respective department need to do the follow-up of actions desired by the policy under different stipulation and different objectives. So that is the framework within which we are going to work. So here I will end this long, I think, very long. I don't know how many of them are there. So any questions you want to take up, sir? That's okay. So I should say screen share मैं बंद कर दूँ.
I think there are only a few people there. Maybe some of them on YouTube.
22 views are there.
Lights are not using.
So lightning over.
I think we will finish the Hangout today because I have to also leave shortly. So I need the laptop back. So thank you very much for joining. We'll again come back next month. Bye bye.